The Cry of the Spirit Devotionals, by Apostle Richard Takim. Today's devotion, Saturday the 30th of August 2025. And the Lord said, Simon, Simon. Indeed, Satan has asked for you, that he may sift you as wheat. But I have prayed for you, that your faith should not fail, and when you have returned to me, strengthen your brethren. Luke 22:31-32 NKJV. Welcome to the 242nd day of our year of victory. We are getting closer to what will be the greatest event in world history, the taking away or catching away of the saints, called the glorious departure. Yes, you may have heard that for years and take it to be one of those Christian fictions, but prophecies are not fictions. However, the event will be preceded by a great wind of end-time revival, also prophesied in time past by ancient prophets of God in Bible times. Some of these prophets called it, the glory of the latter house. Others described it as, the former and the latter rains coming in the first month. We have been looking at the things our destinies need to be fulfilled. Your destiny will need the fulfillment of the glory of the latter house prophecy to be fulfilled. It will need the outpouring of the former and the latter rain to be fulfilled. Do not forget, destiny is like a seed. Until rain falls on a seed, no matter how fertile the soil is, the seed's potential will never be realized. The word rain was their description for the 7 impacts the revival will make on the souls of men this end time. Your destiny will need that impact to be fulfilled. Thank God this is the season set aside for the fulfillment of this soul-saving prophetic move of God. Another prophet described it as a mountain established above all other mountains with nations flowing into it. Our church generation is a unique one. The lines have indeed fallen into us in pleasant places. Yes, we have a godly heritage sight from the Lord. He himself described the revival as greater works. He said we will do greater works than he did. Not in quality but quantity. That is why we must empty the treasure house of heaven of all the scriptural revelation hidden for our generation. We must make our Bibles our spiritual meal table, by taking positions to feed on its content and allow the Lord internalized it into our spirits, turning it into God's hidden wisdom ordained for our glory. We must feed our faith and starve every other thing that will not let us tap into the waves of glory for our age. Our devotional text spoke of faith. Now, talking about faith, I want us to understand that we will experience a lot of sifting from hell like wheat. So, our faith will be paramount to our sustenance in these seasons. You see, our health may fail, but if our faith does not fail along with our health, it will not be long, our health will be restored. Our businesses, marriages, or ministries may be going through some turbulence, but if our faith remains intact, it will not be long, calm will be restored. Without faith, it is not just impossible to please God but impossible to survive a chaotic world that hate anything godly. That is why if everything else fail around us, God will make sure our faith remains intact. Faith is what keeps the righteous rising back 7 times from his fall. It is a spiritual recovery gadget in the kingdom. God may allow the devil to do whatever he wants to do but keep your faith intact so you can bounce back, even stronger than before. For instance, it is your faith that will keep you through a bad marriage, a bad business, a dying relationship, a trying period, a spiritual warfare, etc. No matter what fails, if our faith does not fail with it, there will be restoration. We will never go down. Your kidneys may fail but if your faith did not fail with it, you will be healed. Your heart may fail, but if your faith did not fail with it, you will be raised back. Whatever fails in or around us, we should just make sure our faith does not fail with it. When money failed in Egypt, it was the faith of Joseph that kept the entire nation going. The faith of one man kept an entire nation from sinking. If you have sufficient faith, it will not just keep you, it will keep all who will listen to you. Friend, one man's faith can preserve an entire family, church, people or nation. Whenever things become very critical, God do not look for people to fix them, he looks for one man whose faith can be used to fix them. That is the secret. The Bible did not say without money it is impossible to please God. It says without faith. You may have money in your hands, but you need to mix everything with faith for your money to be meaningful in God's kingdom. There are other people in scriptures whose earthly treasures failed but their faith did not fail with them. One of them was Job. The Bible made it clear that when his health and wealth failed, God made sure his faith did not fail. Even when his wife persuaded him to curse God and die and his friends later came to blame a perceived secret sin for his predicament, Job refused to neither sin with his lips nor kill his faith in God. The Bible says he responded by saying, "Even if he slay me, yet I will trust him." That is the kind of faith that is required today, faith that is unconditionally committed to God and his course. Sadly, that is the very faith Jesus wondered if he would find when he will be returning to the earth a second time. This faith type is near extinct today. I mean, the job kind of faith. It is just in very few Christians today. Somebody will give an offering and if he did not see an immediate response from God, he quits church. Somebody will be promised a husband or wife by God and if he or she did not see it come to pass, she quits church. Somebody will be looking for a job and praying earnestly for it, and if it did not come after a year or two, he or she will quit serving God. We live in a fast food generation that serves God so conditionally that even the devil is wondering and screaming, "What the hell is going on?" Our faith is not resolute, unconditional, and firm. We have said at the onset of this sharing today that we are in the center of an outbreak of revival prophesied in time past. There will also be turbulence as the dragon stands to swallow the man-child that is about being born. If we will therefore survive the onslaught of the dragon these seasons, we must go deeper in God to anchor our souls in unconditional faith. This morning God is calling you to come up higher in your walk with Him. He is urging you to go deeper in your faith and commitment. He wants us to be persistent in following what is true, even if it is not working for the time being. Knowing well that if what is true seems not to be working, it's because it is developing roots within us. When the roots are fully developed, the fruits will begin to spring up into amazing results. Do not forget, we live in a church generation that is easily seduced to follow what is working even when it is not true. Many forget that something that is working but not true will destroy tomorrow, and what is true but not working for the time being will bless tomorrow. It's my prayer that as you embrace this day, you will take a closer look at your faith. You will submit to God in prayer and word study to feed and strengthen it, using this devotional truth as a catalyst. Let this scriptural be an additional meditation for us today. Then he spoke a parable to them, that men always ought to pray and not lose heart, saying, There was in a certain city a judge who did not fear God nor regard man. Now there was a widow in that city, and she came to him, saying, Get justice for me from my adversary. And he would not for a while, but afterward he said within himself, Though I do not fear God nor regard man, yet because this widow troubles me I will avenge her, lest by her continual coming she weary me. Then the Lord said, Hear what the unjust judge said. And shall God not avenge his own elect who cry out day and night to him, though he bears long with them? I tell you that he will avenge them speedily. Nevertheless, when the Son of Man comes, will he really find faith on the earth? Luke 18, 1-8 NIKJV.